Hello, and welcome to GPJ for Star Trek The Original Series, Season 2, Episode The Doomsday Machine. I don't actually have an episode number because it doesn't have an episode number. They have star dates, and they're played on the DVD, at least in the order in which they are shown on the screen. And this one was number 7? I don't know. It's not clear on any of the websites or anything that I've seen it listed on. So the Doomsday Machine deals with the Enterprise basically enters a region of space that has been heavily damaged or partially destroyed by something. So they basically find the remnants of an old system, and they can't talk to anybody because their subspace communications out. Basically there's something putting a huge jamming signal over the entire area, entire system, we're led to believe anyway. So there's this thing that's doing this, and they don't know where it is or what it's doing, and then they come across a spaceship that is just like the Enterprise. It's Constellation, it's Constitution class ship, and it's heavily damaged, and there's lots and lots of asteroids and stuff just randomly hitting it and stuff. It's really kind of cool shot actually. On the remastered version, not the original version, because the original version just uses a slightly banged up, like burnt looking parts of a Constitution class ship, basically the Enterprise model. They find the Constitution class ship and they decide to go over there and find out what happened to the crew, because they're not getting any life signs, not that their readings tell them much anyway. And they find Decker, Commodore Decker, and he is the only survivor of the crew, and he's the commanding officer of the Constellation, and he has gone slightly batty on account of he has basically killed his own crew. And to be fair, it's not his fault. He was trying to save his crew, and then he got kind of batty because he saw them all die, kind of. But it's this whole big thing later. They find Decker and they bring him to Enterprise, and Kirk and Scotty and a couple of other people stay behind to the Constellation, and they try to get everything working again so that they can at least bring back the ship and report to Starfleet what they've found about this system's going up in flames or whatever. And then it happens. The Doomsday Machine, one of the coolest villain things in all of Star Trek, the original series history, possibly any history, because it's one of those things that is a complete mystery. A history mystery. Yeah. We don't know where it came from, we don't know what it's doing here. It's basically just dubbed the Doomsday Machine because that's the title of the episode, and that's what this episode deals with. And it just apparently it strips planets of their resources to refuel itself, and that's all it does. That's all it was built to do, apparently. That's its main big thing. The only problem with it is that it's super heavily armoured. In other words, you can't just blow it up. You can't, phasers won't affect it or anything. So yeah, it's one of these coolest things ever, I think, in Star Trek. So it's arrived, and the Enterprise doesn't know what to do with itself. It's trying to get away from the thing so it can warn anybody that's in its way. But Commodore Decker, again, who's insane, basically tries to take over the Enterprise so that he can try to use the Enterprise to finally destroy this thing that killed all of his crew. Kind of nice motives, I guess. I still think that he was slightly done in, like, by all of the crew, by them constantly telling him that he failed miserably, and it's like, yes, he failed, but it wasn't his fault. He shouldn't be this badly bashed for something that was basically out of his control. They would have all died anyway. It's one of those things. And Kirk and Scotty and a blue shirt, not a red shirt, at least one blue shirt is over on the Constellation trying to fix the systems, not knowing anything about what's going on. They just don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden they figure out what's going on because they get communications and sensors back, and like they see that the Enterprise is battling with the Doomsday machine, and there's this huge battle, and like Decker goes slightly bonkers again, slightly more bonkers, to the point where he takes a shuttle and basically rams into the thing, into the thing's opening. It's got this big torch-like opening in the front of it. And it basically, like, you see the shuttle go in, and it just kind of goes, doesn't actually do anything. And then, like, they realise that, like, it could actually be affected from the inside, so they take the actual ship, the actual Constellation, and they fly into it with the ship, and basically, the ship is rigged to blow up, and it blows up, but it doesn't destroy the Doomsday machine. However, it does disable it completely, and there we go. That's the entire episode, and they all have a laugh about it. Again, on the end of all Star Treks ever, all of the original series Star Treks, they always end up, no matter how many people have died, no matter how many people are going to die, no matter what the consequences of whatever their actions were this episode, they end up all laughing at something that Spock said. Usually Spock, anyway. On the bridge of the Enterprise. That's one of the things that I really hate about the original series. They kill a bunch of people all the time and don't seem to give a shit about it. So there we go. That's that. I love this episode. It's really good. It did show off the model work of the original series in, you know, the mid-60s, and they did a good job of it. It's one of the episodes that I wouldn't have minded if they didn't do the special effects treatment when they did the remastering of it, because I've got the remastered series and it's still badass. That episode totally holds up. Normally I can't watch Star Trek because it's too serious, it's too silly and too serious about other things, and it's crazy and it's hard to look at, but the remastered series really does help a lot. So there you go. So it's a good episode. There's not bad acting in it. They are a bit hard on Decker, but you can kind of live with it, you know. It's a good episode. It's one of the really good episodes, possibly of all of the original series. So here we go. I have got a few questions. There are probably going to be more questions on account of I was watching it and then I realised that this is one of the episodes that I really want to do a GPJ on. So yeah. Number 1, what is the Doomsday Machine? Number 2, are the Deckers related? Number 3, how did the crew of the Constellation die? Number 4, what are they gonna do with it? And number 5, are there more? So here we go. Number 1, what is the Doomsday Machine? The Doomsday Machine, like I said, is the name of the episode, but also the name of the device that is on autopilot killing things. That was actually a question from my mum. Number 2, are the Deckers related? This refers to Commodore Decker, who dies in this episode, and the Commander Decker, who dies in the motion picture. He's in the motion picture. He's the young guy in the motion picture. Yeah. So yeah, that was a me question, because I want to know that. Number 3, how did the crew of the Constellation die? Oh, this is going to be a really dark question. They want to know. I know the person who did sent this in to me, and yeah, they want to know the exact details of how they died on the planet's surface and stuff, and I will do that. I don't mind doing that, but it's kind of a dark episode. Number 4, what are they going to do with it? So basically, at the end of the episode, the Doomsday Machine is dead, and it's just floating around out there. And I kind of wanted to know what they're going to do afterwards. In the rest of Star Trek, it's never really stated what exactly this thing was, and I wanted to know exactly what they were going to do with it, or how they're going to study it exactly. And number 5, are there more? This is a general question by the crew of the Enterprise, and I want to know too. Are there more? Are there more of the Doomsday machines? And that's it. So there you go. That's all of the questions for the Doomsday machine, and I'll see you with the answer to number 1 fairly soon.
Mr. Selvig,